All right, this is what my practice serving session might look like. I'm out on the court, standing in the corner, have my basket of balls. I find that if my basket of balls is behind me, they're a little bit easier to reach and out of the way of my swing. If it's on the front side of me, I feel like the basket can get in my way. Ball's a little bit more difficult to reach. All right, so here we go. I'll grab a ball. I'll get set up. Feet, hips, and shoulders all pointed in the direction I want to serve to. For me, that's the other corner. Holding the ball low, the shoulders lower than this one. Paddle is straight back, holding this ball low, keeping my head down and looking at this ball. Leaned forward so I'm not equally balanced. I'm more over this front foot. This back knee is bent. Here's a nice easy swing. And I finish high. All right, so here's what a practice session might look like. I'm going to start out with a nice easy serve, maybe where a lot of us are going to be starting, and back off the line a couple of feet so I have more distance in that direction. This is my starting position with my paddle not too high, which is maybe where a lot of you are. I'm just going to serve 3 or 4 balls. Finishing with that paddle high. Finishing with that paddle high. Keeping my head down all the way through that swing. All right, so that is an example of what your starting serve might look like. That was a good example of a starting serve. Now let's look at how we increase power over time. So before I had my paddle about here, I'm going to raise this up a little higher. I'm going to swing a little bit harder. Everything else should look the same. Paddle a little bit higher. Swinging a little bit harder. Paddle a little bit higher, swinging a little bit harder. Turn a little bit more shoulders and hips into it. So that's what it would look like as we start to add power. Paddle starts a little bit higher, swing a little bit harder. Everything else is roughly the same. Last example, even more power. I'm going to have my paddle about as far away as I can get it from that ball to give me more distance to accelerate. I'm going to swing a little bit harder, about as hard as I can swing and still control this ball. Everything else should look roughly the same. Here we go. That's it. So we start with that beginning series where we're not swinging so hard and we're working on our control and our form. Raise the power a little bit by pulling the paddle even higher, swinging a little bit harder. Keep raising that paddle higher, keep swinging harder. Our serve will get better over time. We're going to take a look at the serve from the return of server's perspective. I have my net set up in the corner, so anything into the net is good. Anything to the right of the net is good because that's still to their backhand side, anywhere up that sideline, as long as it's in bounds. And maybe a little bit left of that net is still okay because it's likely to their backhand side or right into their body. Let's take a look.